The Tech Disruptors podcast is proudly brought to you by channel sponsors, The Average Dad Tech Store and Stellar Data Recovery. Now, on to the show.
My left video just went viral.
I'ma strike back and take your whole empire. Spontaneous combustion. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
How we doing?
Good afternoon.
This is Jason. I'm, I guess, not the main host. Darren decided to take a break today, and
You're the
I'll
main
be
host.
I'll be the main host
my
today. And my name is Jason. I'm also with Tech Disruptors, and people say 2A Tech, but I say Tuna Tech is my page, and I'm joined here by, I guess, semi co-regular host Devin with Devin Does Tech.
Try.
How we doing this afternoon?
Doing good. I'm we've had a nice busy weekend this weekend, but we're doing good otherwise.
Yeah, weekends when you get older are more like, I don't know, it's work. It's like work on the weekends too, isn't it?
So much work. So much work.
Well, crazy enough, if I got my calculations correct, we are episode 31. That's crazy.
Wow.
Of the
that
year.
is. Yeah.
I don't know how we keep doing it. It's because we enjoy tech, obviously.
No, that's fair. We'd probably
and-
be doing this anyways, getting on the phone and just be like, what
Exactly.
do you think about this?
Yeah, you're probably right. And I hate to say this, since Darren is not here today, for those of you who do not like him and listen regularly, you're in for a treat. So,
Yes.
So if you're listening on the podcast, you won't hear his voice. If you're watching the live stream, you won't see his voice, hear his voice, or see his face. There we go.
Yes.
Had to get that figured out.
Double bonus. You should definitely be watching on YouTube this week.
There you go. So the thumbnail today was a grave scene, like literally, like
Yeah.
I said RIP to innovation.
Okay.
So the first time I don't know if you saw the thumbnail.
Yep.
What did you think about when I wrote RIP to innovation?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I assume we're talking about Apple today.
It's not necessarily just Apple. I'm saying let's look at the mobile landscape. I would say
That's fair.
phone wise.
Yeah.
I mean, RIP innovation. Are we at peak mobile phone?
To be completely honest, I think this could be an entire hour-long episode in itself, just talking about this kind of thing. Because I was kind of thinking about this along the lines of like gaming too. Like we're kind of at a space in the gaming space where we're like, you know, we thought when the PlayStation 2 came out that, oh my God, look at these graphics, it's insane. And then the next console comes out and we're like, oh my God, look at these graphics. We're kind of at a point where we're like as photorealistic as it gets, right? Is there a point in like a next generation console coming out that's more and more and more and more powerful? Like, how much more powerful do we need to make this? How much more detail do I need on my character's hair before we just start worrying about like actual gameplay at this point, right? So I think there's a lot of tech just in general that is we're getting to kind of some of these peak moments where do phones even need to be better? I think that's a really good question. But
I mean, it's interesting you say that because you remember your first cell phone. I mean, mine was back in the old school Nokia days where they weren't color screens, they didn't have touch screens, didn't have MP3. He had Snake.
My first cell phone was a StarTech. It didn't even have
I guess that's true. Before that, that's right. The original Razor, right? Yeah,
StarTech
exactly. Razor. Yeah. So
yes,
I mean, in like the original Atari, where we've come from there, you're right. It's like how much better can we get? And I think every generation kind of says that probably. But what I was talking about obviously we focus a lot on mobile tech, and unfortunately, for better or for worse, recently a company named, you may have heard of this company before I share the screen, Xiaomi. We all know who Xiaomi is. Well, here in
Yep.
the tech world, we do. Most people in America, North America, have no idea who they are because they aren't sold here. They recently had a release of some new phones, interestingly named, almost identical to what iPhone has just released. But even more than that, before we jumped on, there was an article where because Xiaomi makes all kinds of products, smart home, toys, cars, and they just released an article where Xiaomi said they bought like a handful of Model Ys, tore them apart to see how they were built to focus on theirs. And people were like, this is most car companies look at their competitors, tear them down, and look at them. But
that's
the difference is, are you innovating or are you copying?
Sure.
So I'm going to share this, and it doesn't really look like a whole bunch in these pictures, and it's kind of a weird website. But so the Xiaomi 17 Pro and the Pro Max were just announced with the 8 Elite Gen 5. I don't know what Snapdragon's doing with their naming scheme, but I can't follow it.
But it's getting more complicated.
There wasn't it the 8 Gen 1 Elite now?
Yeah.
How we go from 1 to 5? I think it's the 5th gen of whatever. I don't know. Maybe someone in the comments can enlighten us.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a million technical reasons because
Right.
it's made out of this, this dye and this fabric and this whatever and this architecture. I'm sure there's a million different reasons that we're just not smart enough to be privy to.
Well, yeah, there's that too. They're not smart enough thing. But what's interesting about these is, like, if you look at that picture right here, I know it's kind of hard to see. It looks almost identical to the iPhone. Now, the big difference there, it has a screen on the back. I know me and Darren last week had mentioned this phone, and we're like, oh, he's like, it's the worst invention ever. I'm not necessarily against the rear screen if it's utilized properly.
Yeah.
Mr. Who's the Boss released a video on this, and I wanted to share it, but I don't want to be copyrighted like we always do. He put the iPhone 17 or an iOS device screen on next to this, and the software is uncannily, like, almost identical.
Really?
Like, you could so it looks like Xiaomi is taking it and copying it. So let me ask you, going back to RIP innovation. So the phone isn't bad. It's the who's who of what's what of all the flagship you could think of, the 8 Gen 5. The biggest thing is they're using silicon carbon batteries. So all these new phones coming out, I think the OnePlus 15 coming out this year is supposed to have like a 6,500 or 7,000 milliamp hour battery, which is insane, and it won't be that much thicker. This one has 6,300. That's a good 1,500 more than most phones out right now.
Right.
So it's not a bad phone. It's got everything you could think of on the Android side.
Yeah.
I mean, even anymore, the A19 Pro, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, processing-wise, they're going to be on par, if not very similar. I don't think there's any lead either way. I think the big difference is Apple controls everything, whereas Android doesn't always.
Sure.
So going back, sorry, I get sidetracked very easily. If you look at these pictures, it even has, like, I don't have a picture of the 17 Pro here next to me, but it has that, like, visor look. The only difference is if you can look right here, the this is like the periscope right here.
Okay.
So it's not up here. They utilized extra space for the screen. But like I said, is innovation dead? Like, Xiaomi's a huge company. They make millions, probably billions, in other parts of the world. And iPhone's global. Xiaomi's not.
Yeah.
When I go back to, is this rear screen really that much of a differentiator that, oh my God, we got to buy it or import it, I guess, for us here in the U.S.?
Dude, I mean, not gonna lie, this is exactly what I want. I wish this is the only reason why I've looked into foldable flip phones is because they have that screen there to be able to like do a selfie with the rear camera. Like, that's huge for me. Again, I don't know how many people care about that, but me just being like, again, a content creator, I love taking video of stuff, to be able to record myself and see myself and frame
like
myself
vlog style, style. Yeah, instead of using your selfie camera, which usually is a little more inferior than your rear camera.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep.
And being able to see yourself.
Very, very interesting to me.
So, Devin, you want to make sure your hair is just right when you're walking around vlogging, correct?
I mean, my hair's always perfect, so I'm not super worried about that. But
I'm worried about my hair. When I vlog, my hair's got to be like perfect.
yeah,
So I get
yeah.
styled before I go vlogging by my makeup
sure.
crew that follows me
Yeah.
around, you know.
That's good.
Um,
That's good.
I lied. It looks like it's going to have a 7,500 milliamp hour battery and 100-watt charging.
Yeah, that's
See,
probably the Pro, right? The Pro Max.
the Max, yes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, I see. And the Pro is
That's
6,300.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting, though. That's where probably the innovations
Oh yeah.
the most.
Yeah.
Battery and charging speeds. Because here in the
Mhm.
U.S., Samsung and Apple, while they're faster, still aren't at quite. I think Apple and
Dude.
Samsung are kind of holding back. Like silicon
Oh,
carbon
yeah,
is not
for
like a to them proven yet, and charging anything at 100 watts probably may produce some heat and maybe some longevity ish. I don't know.
This is one of the reasons why I've kept my OnePlus 13, because I just
Yeah.
don't have to worry about the battery. It is not only is the battery life just still
Yeah.
amazing on this phone, but I don't have to worry about it either way. Like knowing that I can plug it in for 10 minutes. I went out and I bought a couple of, the bricks and charging cables that I know will support, 85 watts or whatever charging speed. I made sure that I went and got a battery, portable battery that'll
Yeah.
put out 100 watts. And I just literally don't have to worry about this phone anymore. I don't worry about my battery. It is the nicest thing in the world.
Well,
For
and
somebody like me that's always like, oh god, it ticked down 1%. I gotta put it back on the charger. Like I'm that guy.
well, it's not just that. It's we said like innovation's dead. What is so innovative about the 15 that we don't know except for the battery size?
Mm.
I mean, we know the Hasselblad branding is gone, and now they have some kind of engine or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
I mean, what has changed enough to get you to upgrade? So, a little piece of information for me, I had the iPhone 16 Pro Max, sold it, and went to the 17 Pro.
Mhm.
I had that thing for 4 days. I wrapped it up and sent it back.
Yeah.
Besides the look, also now that I'm scared it's going to scratch because it's like super delicate, which I put a case on it anyways. And if you want a case, check out Thinborn. They're not really our channel sponsor, but they've given out some coupon codes for us, and we have some information in our description if you check it out. But I had a Thinborn case, and it looked really cool because it's like the carbon fiber look with the orange visor.
Oh yeah. Very cool.
The cameras were really good.
Mhm.
And iOS 26 is okay. I'm not a big fan of the glass thing, but if you're an iPhone user, that's all you have. I
Yeah.
just wasn't blown away. And yes, I have a Pixel 10 Pro XL. Why do you still have that? Well, I had got rid of my 9 Pro XL over 6 months before that came out, so it's still kind of new to me. I think since I just had a 16 Pro and went to the 17, I don't know that it's a really necessary upgrade. Now that's why I go back to it. Is innovation dead? Like, okay, you slapped some new paint on it, you changed the look a little bit, but the cameras weren't. They made it sound like the iPhone Air had a 48 megapixel with 10 lenses, and it was no. It's a sensor that is using cropped. It's nothing. I don't know. It just doesn't seem innovative to me.
I mean, I don't think I would necessarily say that innovation is dead. I think we're seeing a lot different types of innovation. We're seeing a lot of different software things come up. But I also think it is a lot slower than it used to be. We're looking at a lot bigger gaps in time, right? Instead of every single year we're getting something that is so insanely new and different and crazy. It's just
Iterative.
yeah, like you can go 2 or 3 or 4 years at this point without but that change is going to be enough, right? Somebody with an iPhone 13 is ready,
Exactly.
and there's a big enough change now to get a 17, right?
Well, so I used to build computers. I don't build them as much as I used to. It's gotten a lot more complicated.
Mm.
And I was always under the impression that these companies that make I'm not just talking about computers, but cell phones, laptops, computers, that the technology to super advance is always there, but companies stifle it and slow it down purposely because now I'm not making a conspiracy theory, but I was under the impression that they did that purposely because they need to make money. So if they released, if Intel went ahead and released a chip that would blow everything,
now.
yeah, that means they're going to make money instantaneously. But then what? So
Yeah.
if they chop
Yeah.
it up and they do a good enough
Yeah.
job, I don't know. Do you buy into that? I think that's
There's got to be at least some of that. I mean, because I think that's also that's also a thin line type of thing. Because if we don't release it, somebody else probably is going to, right?
yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, look at
So
Samsung this year. They released the S25 Edge, which I still have, and it was like
yeah,
they knew Apple was working on it, so they released it
right.
quick. Now, I will
Exactly.
say I still have the Edge, and I know this is off topic, but I actually really like it.
It's so innovative, right?
It's not innovative
Why
at
do you
all.
lo-
It's not. So
Why do you like
I'm
it
not
so
a
much?
thin phone person. Like I still
Yeah.
think the cons outweigh the pros. Like
hmm
it's just the battery life. It's still battery life has been actually really good.
Yeah.
But I have multiple phones, so I'm not always on it using
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
But I've been pleasantly surprised. But I don't know if thin is what we need. So
Yeah.
here's where innovation is going to come. So you're a retro gamer, or maybe not.
Yeah. I play some games.
Okay, so those in the comments or those listening later on the podcast, we talked about Xiaomi, and Xiaomi is, for lack of better terms, a huge company making some copycat products, but they say copying is the best form of flattery, right? Someone's copying it,
Sure.
means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Except for the company you're copying, they get pissed off.
Yeah.
But Xiaomi didn't just release a phone. They released an interesting concept, and it's not a concept, it's supposed to be coming out. The retro handheld phone case. So, Devin, you're talking about this secondary screen for blogging, but now you can
Yeah.
snap on a Bluetooth. I think it's NFC or it uses
Yeah.
the reverse, and then it actually turns it into a retro gaming. Now, again, Mr. Who's the Boss showed us off. If you guys know who he is, look him up on YouTube. He does a video on this, and he says it kind of puts you into like a gaming air on the back, and there
Yeah.
are some pre-installed games that aren't necessarily retro, like Angry Birds. But I don't
Yeah.
call Angry Birds retro by any means. It looked like he was playing Angry Birds. But anyways, what do you think of this?
This feels really gimmicky to me. To me, I'm the guy that, like, I want to use the best thing. So I would use that screen, not because I want to, but because that's the best option for that use. I'm using that when I have my camera turned around so I can use the full camera. But to play a game on it, why would I not flip the device over and use the better screen?
Yeah, I get it. I don't know what the conversion is. It says $299. I'm assuming. Oh, there you go. About $40 US. It's not expensive.
Okay.
It says
It's
it's
a
got
case.
4 face buttons, a circular D-pad. It's got like an iPod click wheel, a 200 milliamp hour battery that should deliver 40 days of gameplay at 3 hours a day, and it comes with Angry Birds too.
Okay.
Here's my thing. I'm a kind of guy that and I can't
Yeah.
speak for everyone in the world. I'm the kind of guy who
Wait, why does it come with Angry Birds? Angry Birds is a touchscreen game. It's not even a
well, it is a
controller
touchscreen.
game.
I think it's because maybe that was the only one that they have worked on thus far. You know, I don't know.
Hey.
Maybe in the markets they're selling, it's popular. I don't know.
buy this controller that we're putting on the back of a phone, and we're gonna give you this game that is definitely not optimized for controller.
It's retro.
What?
Okay, but hear me out.
Sorry. Okay.
No, I'm
love
not.
to hear-
Look,
hear it.
is it a great idea? It's an interesting. Like, it'd be cool. Like as like going on a long trip, you could snap it on placing games. I get it. You can play on the front, maybe to impress your friends. I don't know if it's even impressive. But I'm the kind of guy that always has a case on my phone. So,
Sure.
and cases aren't cheap. I mean, yes, you can go to Amazon and get a cheap plastic case like I do,
Yeah.
like the clear one, so you can see the color you buy.
Yeah.
But a lot of people go out and buy these Aramid fiber $100 cases for
Sure.
$40. You're not only getting a case, but it's throwing a little interesting vibe. I mean, that's how I look at it. It's more interesting than a waste.
I
I
mean,
mean, Angry Birds 2, I'm a huge Angry Birds 2 fan specifically.
yeah, that's cool. That's
I
good.
was
That's good
only
for you.
kidding.
Yeah, I mean,
I would.
yeah, it's an interesting case, but I can't imagine that I would be turning that around and playing games like that a
So-
lot. Like, why wouldn't I just play a better game on the front screen?
This is a hot take.
I don't know.
Devin thinks the Xiaomi 17 series are pretty decent looking phones, but he doesn't think the retro screen should be used for retro gaming.
I mean,
so let me ask you this. What if you snap that on there and it had, it automatically installed some, I don't know, some retro games?
Yeah, I mean, if I could emulate it and
had an ST little card slot on it or something.
like,
I don't know if it has one.
I mean, maybe, but again, I find myself, I don't know why I would flip it around and play it that way when I could play it on the front screen.
So you're asking the wrong question. It's not why would you, it's why wouldn't you?
Because I have a full high def screen on the other side that's 5 times as big. Why wouldn't I play on that screen? I don't know.
I think you're underselling the. Again, this goes back to innovation being dead. Companies are grasping for whatever they can find to help.
I mean,
sell their products,
cool.
right?
I'm just saying, I can't. I don't see myself using that a ton. I don't know. I would have much rather had like a case. Like, give me a case, a regular case that I can flip the buttons around and then they're right here. So I can use, 75% of the beautiful big screen I already have.
Or you can get one of those cases that stretch around it.
Yeah. Why would, if I'm going to take something and play some games on my phone, give me one of those. Like,
I'm glad I showed this just to see your reaction.
I don't know.
I thought it was like and I don't know if you guys have followed me on. If you don't follow me or Devin on our socials like X, Twitter, whatever, Instagram. Like when the S25 Ultra, I think it was the S25 Ultra came out. I actually went to I don't remember what website it was either, but it was a case that you turn. It was just like this, and it had a D-pad and an A and B button. That was it. Like it looked like a Game Boy. Yeah. And it actually had a screen. Didn't use a screen. It actually had a screen. It was a case, and it had like a real cheap Chinese Nintendo emulator. It had like 6,000, Nintendo games, which it had 4 of the same thing. Like it wasn't called Mario Bros. It was called like Mario Bros. They had to change the name.
Boys.
Something like that. But it was a cool concept. But these kind of cases make it hard to fit your pocket.
Yeah.
And it was a cool, like, oh my God, that's really neat. People looked at it, but I'm like, yeah, but you can get an emulator and buy your ROMs the right way and actually have the full featured thing. Yeah. So I don't know. You're not a big fan. So the Xiaomi 17 series
if I were to get that phone, I probably would not be ordering that case with it. Just throwing it out there.
What if it's included for free? It's a pre-order gift or something. I'm not saying you're pre-order because I got to import it, but
I don't see myself using that case. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. So the Snapdragon new and upcoming processor, what are they called again? Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Damn, that's a lot of. Nothing against Snapdragon. They're killing it in the SoC game and even for laptops too. But so I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but let me know. So these are the upcoming phones this year so far that are going to be featuring this new chipset. And if you're an Android user, almost every phone is going to use this that has a flagship, unless you're nothing and you decide to use an older processor.
They'll use it in 3 years.
Hey, nothing is doing their own thing. We talked about them last week. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but we talked about the Xiaomi series. So again, a phone we can't buy here in the U.S. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Which I honestly, the screen on the back, that's something that would be very interesting to me. If I could get that, I would be very interested in it.
Okay. They weren't the first. Actually, they did it a long time ago. I think on the 11 or 12 Ultra, and it wasn't the same functionality.
Well, I would love to see this. You know how Apple just announced on their front-facing camera that you can change the aperture. If I could use that phone like this, but since it's got a widescreen on the back like that, I want to be able to use my phone like this, but see the full wide screen.
So the selfie camera on the iPhone 17, for those he's talking about, it's a square sensor as opposed to like the typical sensor that they use. Yeah. So you can actually hold it in portrait and you can still get a landscape shot. And I think what he's saying is turning this around with the screens on the back. You can still get that ultra wide because you have an ultra wide camera. That's, and it's a quality ultra wide. Nothing against the selfie on the iPhone, but I would imagine the sensors on the back of the iPhone are probably better than the selfie, just like any other phone. So you're going to get more depth, more bokeh, more detail, more sharpness, whatever you want. I can go down the list. But so the Xiaomi 17 series is the first, one of the first to use it. We talked about the Xiaomi. Let's see what else we got here. Man, they really beaten this thing, aren't they, with the screen on the back? The iQOO 15, never heard of it. Another Chinese one. Again, I think they're a spin-off of, I want to say Realme, or I don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah, something like that.
All these phones in China,
somewhere.
Yeah, it seems like in the U.S., Samsung has like a chokehold on the Snapdragon processor at first, and they do the leading version, which is like an overclocked version. China always gets them first. So if you're listening to this or watching this and you want to get some of these phones first, just make sure you're aware that Chinese ROMs don't play well here in the U.S., and it does take some finagling to get it to work properly. If these companies do have a global version, aka sold in like Germany, UK, you can import those and they should work pretty good. The only problem you'd have is like bands coverage for like Verizon. T-Mobile's probably the best in the U.S. to be able to use any kind of phone. AT&T and Verizon are a little bit more tough, but I digress. iQOO 15, I've never owned an iQOO. I think it may have had one. So I don't know if you guys are super excited about. I know Devin's like, I never heard of that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool with the red like marbling on it. That looks pretty cool. But
now we know OnePlus 15. We just talked about it. What do you think of this look? This is supposedly the new look of the phone.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I've been getting used to the big circle camera on the back.
And they've been doing that for a while.
Yeah. They've had that for a couple of years now. I'm definitely not opposed to this though. Again, I think at the end of the day, like I don't care as much about how the back looks as long as
me neither.
It works. And
I think people have been comparing this to the iPhone, not the 17, but the previous iPhones. It if those listening and not watching, obviously, it kind of has that squared off in the corner with obviously looks different. But this kind of reminds me of what did they release over? We didn't get it here. It was like the mini. It kind of looks like their mini version from last year. If you're familiar with it. But this is one of the few SoCs. This is one of the few phones that we've talked about that's readily going to be available here in the U.S. And you're a OnePlus fan, right? You have the watch and the phone?
I do. Yep. So
I'm a OnePlus fan. I don't know. Darren's a big fan of them, too. I think he went on that trip with them a couple years back. And I was on a rowboat outside the cruise because I couldn't get on.
Yeah.
And I think they're really well-received phones. I just think here in North America, it's like an uphill battle.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think without carrier deals, you're not going to get a foothold. Pixel's growing by leaps and bounds because they had good marketing and they're in with dealers.
For sure.
I
got Google behind them.
Yep.
I'm definitely keeping my eye on this one. I just don't know from what I've seen so far if there's going to be enough for me to want to upgrade already.
Well, people are saying it could be a downgrade in cameras, not hardware wise, but it could still be Hasselblad doing the tuning. They just renamed it. But the biggest thing is I want to say there was like 7,000 milliamp hour battery or something crazy, which I'm telling you with the new every Snapdragon gets more efficient. And if this chip is anything like the last one, it's like it's just gonna be like an iPhone. You're gonna put it down and I mean you'll use it for days. And that's what I want to see is a longer battery life.
The only way that I'm probably gonna get this right away would be if the trade-in was insane. If it's $1,100 for this phone and they're gonna give me $900 for mine, like I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah. But
OnePlus is usually pretty generous with their trade-ins. Not always. I know, like with the I don't have one. I had the OnePlus 13 for like a week, and it wasn't a bad phone. People who are listening and watching again, I go through a lot of phones, so I gotta pick and choose, and I gotta move on. And a lot of times I pay for these phones, and I gotta sell them while the irons, sell them with
the only other thing that I like is this like leather back,
the blue one,
it's so cool.
Again, well, they make cool cases like that too. That add that leather as well. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I've used this phone so much without a case on it, but the thing that gets me, and again, you having the Samsung there right next to you, it was too thin for me. Like
Huh.
it's just it doesn't hold as nice as when it's got a case on it. Like it
Yeah.
just holds better.
And that's one of the issues I have with thin phones. And I don't really think they're
Yeah.
innovation. You're taking away stuff to make it
Yeah.
fit in a thinner frame. And
Yeah.
technically, the iPhone Air and the S25, more the iPhone, just because they have that visor and they shove everything in the visor. So technically, there
Right.
is a tall spot, making it not as thin as it should be.
Yeah,
I understand
right.
there's only so much you can do, but
Yeah.
that's why I don't really think that.
I
don't know.
still don't know who's asking for a thin phone. I literally carry 2 phones in my pocket every single day. I I don't care about a thinner phone.
Here's
Like,
what people have been saying.
I don't know.
Everyone says you have to hold one to understand, and
But
I'll
who's
I agree.
asking for it still?
Exactly. So that's my thing. I'm holding this phone. Now I have a case on it.
Yeah.
It's ugly for one. The design is terrible, but it is thin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it.
It's super light. Without a case,
Right.
I'm going to drop it. It doesn't feel like
Mhm.
it's going to bend or break. It's got titanium, just like it's
Sure.
very identical to the iPhone.
Yep. I saw those videos. Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know why I need it.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me. Like,
You know what? We'll see what happens. People are swearing by it. I think everyone think, well, iPhone did it. iPhone makes
yeah.
Apple makes they make mistakes too. Not everyone's
Yeah.
perfect.
Well,
Perfect. So
And I get maybe it's just again the idea that okay, this year we're just trying to downsize things, right? And I'm making it thinner and smaller so that it fits in a smaller package. So then all of a sudden, then we can scale it back up, and now we've done, make it even more powerful and make the battery even more efficient and this stuff because we went through the exercise
Right.
of making everything thinner and crazy, whatever. But
well, that goes back to flip phones and buy a flip phone. They fold in half
yeah,
and they're even smaller, right?
yeah.
I was reading a comment here. Thin phones are
Yep.
trendy. I like my phones thick.
I was just gonna say that's what I've literally taking the case off my OnePlus 13 after using it. I'm like, it's too thin. I like it
Well,
better.
It's interesting you
with the
said it too,
case on
because
it.
again, going back to Mr. Who's the Boss, he gave his 2 cents on it, and of course, they're big iPhone users, so he wasn't too negative on it. But he
Yeah.
put a case on. He goes, "What's the point of putting a case and a battery pack? Because for $1,100, you can buy a regular phone." But what he did was,
Yeah.
I went to take the case off. He bought the official Apple
Yeah.
hazy clear case. When he took it off, it actually bent permanently, and he couldn't get the case to go back on.
Oh,
But yeah, remember they're trying to make cases just as thin as the phone, so that way it kind of fits.
Yeah.
But moving
Oh my
down the
goodness.
line, so we know
Yeah, let's
OnePlus here in
go.
the U.S., North America, we will be getting that at some point. I would say probably October. I don't know. It's Techtober coming, you guys. So
Mm.
if you've heard that term before, it's just a barrage. We have Pixel, then we have Apple, then we have, and it's just a ongoing onslaught. I just heard today that Red Magic's working on their next one, and Nubia is working on the 80
Yeah.
series. It's crazy. It's hard to keep track, especially if you're into
It
this kind of
is.
stuff.
Yep.
Now we all heard of this company, Samsung, obviously. Samsung Galaxy S26 and the 26 Ultra. I'm going to be honest with you. Samsung is like one of the bread and butter companies for Android. They've done a lot for Android and Google,
Oh, yeah.
and they work closely and hand in hand. I just like the iPhone. I get kind of bored. Now, the S25 Ultra or the S25 Edge that I have, one reason why I kind of like it as well is it's got One UI 8, so it kind of redesigned things. And I haven't used a Sammy device for a while, so it's
Yeah.
kind of a breath of fresh air. And I think what we
Yep.
got to realize is people who use multiple phones, and I'm not saying you, but other people, is that a new phone coming out is always kind of like that recency bias. Oh my God, it's so amazing. But after 6 months, are you still wanting to use that phone, or is
Yeah.
it kind of like, I'm bored?
For sure.
I don't know.
I was actually, I felt it a little bit this year. So the last, so I have my work phone is an S24, just a standard S24. So I've got to use that a little bit.
That's your work
And-
phone? Interesting.
When the S25 Ultra came out, so the last one that I had before this was the S22 Ultra. So I was kind of like, I could maybe go back to one of these for a little while. You know, nice phones. I think the stylus was really nice. I used it, you know, for a handful of different things, but we'll see.
They're talking about getting rid of the
Come back into
stylus.
rotation,
I don't know.
Which would make me completely like there would not be almost any reason for me to go back at that point.
Right.
I
mean, I never used a stylus. Again, I might be in the minority there. They took out the Bluetooth, which I thought was kind of nice in the rare situation where like I'd set it up on a tripod and want to take pictures.
I use that a lot.
But they don't, I don't know. There's also rumors they're going to bring it back with Bluetooth. I don't know. You know, rumors are rumors for a reason. It gets you talking and gets you interested.
Oh, yeah.
Realme GT8 Pro. Again, Realme is a company that we don't see here.
Yep.
It's mostly China. They used to release in the UK. I've had a handful of these probably years and years ago, but again, it goes back to software. Some of these smaller companies and the software is not made for the North American market, so it's very specific to a certain region, I guess. And then obviously something that me and Darren have been waiting for, and there's a couple rumors here. So as you can see here, it has this camera lens kit. They've had it last year for the 200 Ultra. Yeah. They're saying that last year's one will still work, which is good if you already bought it. Obviously, they're going to have some very pastel colors. But to me, and I can't speak for anybody else, not even Darren because he's not here, but the Vivo has the best camera system on any smartphone. Hands down. And if you're an iPhone user or Galaxy user and you've never heard of them, it doesn't matter. Take my word for it. If you have an opportunity to get a global version, you got to jump on a Pro at least. Now, the Ultra last year was a Chinese only. So I had it. It worked. I would say 94% of it worked just fine. But there was that 6% that was kind of iffy. The rumor is now the Pros always goes global. It uses Dimensity chipset. But the Ultra always uses, and that's another thing I don't understand. Vivo makes the Pro and the Ultra, but they have different chipsets. So the Dimensity 9500 will be in the Pro, and then the Snapdragon will be in the Ultra.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a big price difference, like I could see that, but
I mean, maybe that's why the Ultra is more expensive partially because of the chip. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
Well, October is when they're going to announce them in China. It usually comes 1 to 2 months after here in the U.S. or in the U.S. in the global markets. So if the Ultra is not available here as a global, I'll stick with the Pro. I'm not doing a Chinese phone. It was fine for me, but you know, and I have multiple phones.
It's too much of a hassle to worry about.
But I'm not underplaying this. The zoom on a Vivo is probably the best of any phone, but the processing, because we all know the sensor size doesn't mean everything and megapixels doesn't mean everything. It's processing. I don't know what it is about their processing, and I know it's very subjective. You know, like iPhones tend to be really warm. Pixels tend to be very cool, but I prefer that cool look, and I think Vivo does a really good job of kind of mixing them both. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just when I take a picture and I look, I go, holy crap. Like, I'm a terrible photographer, but this damn camera made that great picture. You know, that's when you know it's a good camera, at least to me. And then
for sure,
in comparison, we have the Oppo.
Yeah.
And then we have the Honor. All these phones
always liked Oppo's phones. I wish
really
that I've always had. They always just look so nice to me. It's like every phone they release, I'm just I wish I could have that phone. I wish I could have that one.
I remember the days when Oppo would have the weird designs where the backplate would slide up and cameras. And that's when I thought it was cool. That was an innovation, but it was unique. Going back to the Xiaomi case, that Xiaomi case isn't innovative. It's just different.
Yeah.
You know, what is Pixel besides their software? The Pixel isn't that innovative, is it? Now, some of their software might be. Same with Apple. See, I think they've switched roles. I think Google's more of the software company, which I guess they are a software company first. And Apple used to be both, but I think they're more of a hardware than they are software because iOS is very complicated. And, you know, Apple Intelligence, it's probably going to kill when it comes out, like awesome, because they're taking so much, well, at least Apple hopes so. But either way, I think like with the Oppos, and then we have Honor. Me and Darren were big fans of the Honor series, but all these Android devices are not really available here. Yeah. So here in the U.S., we're going to have to wait till January for the Samsung series, and then, you know, August, October for the Pixel series. And then, well, I guess Nubia Red Magic Nubia and Red Magic. They're the same company. Nubia makes a photocentric series. I think they're on the X80 Ultra now.
Yeah.
This coming up, and then they have the Red Magic gaming phones, which you see here, the 11 series. Those are available in the U.S. and you can buy them from their website. So, but no one's probably ever heard of them.
That's another one of those like brands that man, I would love to get my hands on one of those. But
why not? You can buy them online. They work here.
I know it just doesn't. It doesn't feel right to me to sacrifice so much in the camera department for some better battery life.
I don't know. They
Like,
seem to
the
be getting
design
slightly.
on them.
So the Red Magic and Nubia has always been known for the under screen selfies too. So like
Yeah.
when you're playing a game, it's full screen. You don't have a punch out.
Yeah. Sure.
But what sucked about that is when you took a selfie, there was like a haze and a blur.
Yeah.
Now I will tell you this: they're like on their 5th gen of this, and it's still hazy. But they work AI magic, so it's kind of like a Pixel phone. When you take a picture and you wait a couple seconds and it clicks and it looks really good.
Yeah.
The AI makes the photos look amazing, like much better than they should probably.
Yeah.
The rumor is this year, Red Magic's going to go with a punch out. Like they're done with the under screen. Maybe they're just done and it's not working for them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, at that point, like if I'm getting a phone just for gaming, that that would be a deal breaker for me. I feel like
it's a niche. I think people who are buying this for gaming probably are satisfied with the cameras. They don't care as much, maybe.
Yeah.
I love the Red. I've had every Red Magic till up to the 9. I didn't have 10. I can't buy every phone. I had to get a triple mortgage out of on my house just to keep buying these phones, and I don't get phones always sent to me for free. So I would say this year I'm most excited for the Vivo. More recently, the Vivo coming out here in October. Probably the Red Magic 11 to see if they've changed, because they tend to kind of upgrade the cameras a little bit every year too. What about you? I mean, OnePlus looks interesting too.
Yeah, I mean, this just I would love to play with a Red Magic phone. I would love to be able to have one and play around with it. But again, I just don't see sacrificing, the camera quality for what else a Red Magic typically provides. I don't know.
Lack of software updates, you're going to lose out on that probably too.
right?
I haven't held on one long enough to know, but it's usually like 2 to 4 years max. That includes security updates as well.
Yeah. But I mean, just like the fact that it's going to have literally the same processor in it, as any other phone, any other flagship phone. Like, what am I know a lot of their phones had just massive batteries in them. I know that a lot of them
that's one thing they do.
Really cool design. They'll have the screens on them. They'll have the, just look really, really cool. Right. But I don't know. To me, that didn't seem like enough to want to switch specifically to one of those.
Okay. Fair enough. We've beat the horse on mobile phones, I would say. Wouldn't you say?
That's fine. I mean, mobile phones are fun. We like to.
Well, I mean, Snapdragon's very popular. They've been around for a while. They power a lot of our products that we know and don't know of. Yeah. But they did have a summit here recently, and they announced a bunch of things. One of those things was a X2 chips. Now, this is more for desktop use. What does the Quest use? Do they use the X series as well?
Oh, I do not.
I can't remember now off the top of my head, but I want to say they use something very similar too. But so at the summit, Qualcomm showed wafer slim fanless desktop PCs powered by their new X2 chips. So last year we had the X series chips in laptops, and I wouldn't say they didn't sell well. I don't know. There was a bunch of fanfare when they first came out, but I didn't really hear much about them afterwards. But apparently they sold well if they're making a sequel to the chipset. So on this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
That is their prototype, like, reference device. What do you think of that?
Yeah. Isn't that like the full computer?
That's the full computer. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty cool.
I mean,
I haven't played with one of these. I haven't got my hands on any Snapdragon device that's not a phone.
Right,
so,
because this is ARM. It's not
Yeah.
x86. So it's
Mhm.
like there are limitations, but there's also
Oh, yeah.
benefits. And for
Mhm.
years, Android, or I should say, ARM and Windows did not work well together. And I
Yeah.
think they've really stepped up the game because of Apple and their new ARM chips. So you get supposedly getting a lot more power and efficiency with a lot less space. So you're a gamer.
Mhm.
Let me rephrase that. Are you a gamer? Do you consider yourself a gamer?
Yeah, I play games. Yeah.
So when you look at this, you're like, where's the video card? You know, where's the power? Where's the power supply? You know, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm building my own stuff. I'm not, buying a pre-built. Whether it looks like that, whether it looks like my, built desktop, anyways. But yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, I am so far removed from stuff that isn't full Windows on it that again, the games that I play, I play League of Legends as my main game. So even if that
Okay.
was like literally just the one game that I played, I can't play that on anything but a standard x86 Windows device.
Well, I thought they were doing something with the conversion. I forget that Proton. I think that's more of a Steam thing, but or
Probably,
Linux thing,
yeah.
I should say. But I mean, is this what we want? Like, if it's powerful enough, I mean, you have a newer cell phone. They can play
Yeah.
some pretty graphically intense
Oh, yeah.
games.
Mhm.
But the problem is a lot of these AAA games aren't like optimized for ARM processing, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
And that's what people understand. Yes, ARM can be as powerful, maybe even more than some x86
Oh, yeah.
processors, but games aren't optimized.
Like
to
this
utilize
looks
it.
legit for my parents. I would get them something like this.
Honestly, if it's like the Apple Mini, like you could probably do some. If it's optimized properly, you could probably do some pretty killer video editing on something like this too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, if you're a minimalist and you love making content,
Yeah.
you stick this at. I mean, you wouldn't need a whole lot
Yeah.
of space for this at all.
You could mount this on the back of the monitor, and
Oh, I
then
didn't
my
think about
parents
that.
are going to continue saying that their monitor is the computer. So because they don't know any
Oh,
different.
well, there's
Yeah,
the
I mean,
bottom of
that-
it. You can see the
yeah.
heat exchange.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't like the color. I don't like the
Yeah.
Snapdragon light lighting up. But again, this is a reference device. I don't know this is
Yeah.
what they're actually going to sell.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty cool, proof of concept type of thing. Yeah, I
And-
would
yeah,
I
Okay.
would buy my parents something like that. Just as long as, again, I don't know what software, to be completely honest, I don't know what software is out there for, ARM processors at this point. As long as everything that they need to run is available, I don't see why I wouldn't get them something like this.
Well, I mean, look at that picture right there. That monitor. That's probably the entire computer right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you could.
There you go.
sure.
So your parents are right.
Yeah, it is.
That is
Yeah,
the
it's
entire computer.
basically an all-in-one at this point, making all-in-ones decent computers now instead of.
I mean, it
super
depends.
behind
Like I
the
said,
times.
not everything's going to. Apple didn't, when they first released their ARM processor, things weren't always, happy clouds and sunshine. They had to get things slowly optimized, but they're a juggernaut like Microsoft. So if people
Yeah.
work together, I don't.
Oh yeah,
The difference is it's Apple makes everything in house, so it's all for them. Whereas MediaTek could jump in this if they have a good enough SoC. They can start doing Windows products too, and maybe they already do. I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting. I think like this is a concept that it's just the world we're going to. Is this innovation?
yeah.
See,
I mean,
we
I
keep
think
going
this
back
is
to
really
innovation. Is it innovation?
Yeah, I think we're just in I think it is very innovative. We're just in a really tough spot as far as computers go because of the legacy applications, right? Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm still playing playing League of Legends after 15 years. Until Riot Games says, "Yep, we're going to make an ARM version of it," or there's a proper way to play it, a proper way to emulate it or port it or whatever. It's going to be a really hard battle there. Because again, I'm using League of Legends because that's one of the things that I have, but I guarantee there's a million other pieces of software that people just can't live without, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there's all going to be certain games that are going to be optimized, and they were going to work pretty, or software in general that's going to work well. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, like my wife uses half a dozen different pieces of software for commercial real estate stuff and whatever. Like until every single one of those is available, she can't have a computer with an ARM processor in it, right?
Well, it's the same thing with Chrome. Chrome OS was great for schools, but there were certain things you just can't do in Chrome OS. And there was another article, I'm not going to share it now, getting kind of toward the end of the show, that Android is going for PCs now too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like an Android-based PC is probably makes more sense for a lot of people.
Would we need a tablet anymore then?
I mean, I assume most of those are probably tablet-based. Probably have a touch screen.
Well, Chrome. Let me rephrase that. Do we need Chrome OS if Android's going to be on the laptop? The only thing that Chrome OS is very secure because it runs all on on the cloud and a little bit on device. I like Chrome OS. I like how quick it is, but it's very limited. It's gotten better with the App Store.
I just never understood when they had super luxury Chromebooks.
I know.
Like you're spending $1,500 on a Chromebook. To me, the Chromebook was the perfect like $200 laptop. Like if you just need something that works and is gonna be able to do X, Y, and Z, and those are the things, it's awesome.
The gaming ones. They had the gaming ones.
Yeah, right. Like do not get here's the thing, do not get a $200 Windows-based Intel laptop, right? Don't do that.
You mean the N series chips are bad?
Yeah. If you need a $200 laptop, yes, go for a Chromebook.
And here's the other thing that drives me nuts about Chrome.
Get a $1,500 Chromebook for sure.
Chromebooks are great for what they are, and they have Android apps, like they have the Google Play Store. But what I didn't understand is they never worked, at least on the, I would say it was just the x86 versions of Chrome OS, but it was any of them. The apps never seemed to work as well as like an Android or tablet or not. I don't know why. I don't know if there was a layer in there that was just not, I don't know. I'm not an engineer, so I don't, or, I'm not a software engineer, so I'm not sure if there's something there that's lacking.
I don't know.
But either way,
I mean, to be fair, it's probably specs just in general. Like fact that this thing has 16 gigs of RAM.
I get it, but like if you bought one of those luxury ones, like I used one that was like an i5, had 12 gigs of RAM. An i5 in a Chrome OS is like a supercharged V8. You don't need more than that. That's way too much. And then, but when I played like LumaFusion, wouldn't even open, or one of these. So it doesn't make any sense. It worked on my tablet, but it wouldn't work on Chrome OS. It's got to be a layer of software there. That's
got to be an optimization for the specific type of processor at that point.
And as many developers there are, and how many different chipsets there are, optimization is never going to happen quickly. It's just not.
For sure.
Well, the last thing I want to say, and it's just a teaser. I don't know if it's really anybody even really cares about this.
Yeah.
We touched on nothing. And then they have their sub-brand, CMF, which I just read they're going to spin off as their own company for India. So I don't know. I think they're still going to sell globally, but it's going to be like an India-only main brand. So I don't know. I personally, and this is not, I didn't hear this anywhere. I don't have my ear to the ground. But I think Nothing may be struggling financially. I don't know. They sell really good earbuds and headphones and stuff, but I just don't know if their phones are doing well. They were till the 3. The 3 seems to be struggling. I could be wrong. But either way, CMF, their sub-brand, is known for like cheaper products. They have which are fantastic phones. And what you pay for, you get way more than you should. They also have earbuds, which for me have been some of my favorite earbuds. But Nothing came out and released their headphones one that were $300, and they had a very controversial design. I did have those. They were very good, and they sounded fantastic, but they were an acquired taste when it comes to looks.
Sure.
So CMF announced this the other day. They're going to debut their Pro headphones. Now, there's not much here. I mean, literally, and if in CMF Nothing fashion, they're making small, tiny little leaks like this to show you. But this part right here, the cup, is actually interchangeable, just like their
that's cool.
Some of their phones and some of their watches where the bezel can be swapped out. it's going to be. It looks like with the headphones, one, which was my favorite part of it, was tactile input, no touch. It's all like
Very
switches
nice.
and knobs.
Yep. Thank
My
you.
biggest that's all they have. It's just some pictures,
Yeah.
and I think it's
Yeah.
coming out the 30th. So I want to say, what is that, Tuesday? This Tuesday,
Wow. Yep.
they're going to announce these. They're going to be cheaper than $300,
Oh, for sure.
but how much cheaper?
I think they have to be sub $100 to make sense with the CMF line.
I would say probably $100 or less. I would
Yeah.
say. I don't know. They look. I want to see a full picture, and I'd love to know what they sound like. You got to know
I
it,
mean,
'cause-
obviously.
and people got to realize CMF is a budget brand. Nothing is not really a budget brand, but they are lower than most. They're going to make some trade-offs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But everything they've made to this date has been, I mean, they oversold, but they definitely kept their promise. I guess it's hard to explain. Like I've had 3 or 4 of their earbuds, and they're way better than I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm waiting for the day that these. I've got the Nothing Ear 2. I'm just waiting for the day that they die so that I can get a set of CMF buds and.
You don't want so I've got the latest. Well, the latest is Nothing Ear 3.
Yeah,
I think with the super mic.
3.
I had the one before that, which they changed the name. It was like the Nothing Ear, but it's actually the set. It was after. It was weird. It was right before the 3.
This
but
would
they
be really easy.
They
The one,
changed.
the
They
two,
changed
the
the naming scheme. And I listened to him today for the first time. Like I got him free with something a year, probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and I decided, hey, I'll hook them up to my phone, and they actually, I was really impressed. That's Nothing in CMF have really put a lot of work into earbuds. So I don't know. So I'm excited for these. I like everything CMF's put out so far. I mean, they're not a flagship company. They don't make flagship phones, but every phone they've made. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of their watches, but again, they're budget watches, but they always have connectivity issues, and I can never keep any of my watches connected from them. But besides that, phones, earbuds, and hopefully these upcoming ones. So keep your guys' eyes glued to YouTube. If you're not interested, if you know anything about CMF, follow them on socials. You can look them up at CMF by Nothing. They will be teasing the hell out of this if they already have, and maybe you can get a pair of these for real cheap.
I was gonna say, if they are like really cheap, if they're sub like $50, that might be where I'm interested in picking up a
sub
pair.
$50.
Just to play around with, but I don't wear over the ear headphone.
This is the only time I do it. Is when I'm live streaming. Really,
I definitely prefer buds myself.
Yeah, me too.
But again, if they're the right price, I mean,
yeah, I was just saying, if it's price per feature and it's, I don't know, it's a good value proposition, you may find yourself wearing it. Like if these are really good for the price, whatever they are, I think it might be a good. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm partial to Sony. The Nothing headphones one were the first headphones I've tried that would pull me away from Sony. But I have too much tech. I got to move on. You know, I can't hang on to things too long.
Yep, for sure.
Tech goes too fast. But anyways, you guys, that comes to the end of today's show. Hopefully it was better than usual. I don't know. If not, I mean, leave a comment. Let us know how terrible we did. I don't know. But we'll be back next Sunday, 4 p.m. I don't know if we have any guests. You'd think I would know that, but it's kind of hit or miss. We can get those. But either way, my name is Jason. Go ahead.
I'll let you know if we have a guest. As soon as we start the podcast, I'll let you know whether there's a guest or not.
Hey, before we wrap up, one last thing. Yeah, that's real funny. I didn't do that. That wasn't me. That was the guy who's missing today. He's like, Devin's coming on. I'm gonna get real. I'm not gonna be there today. You did something special. There's a beer company named Garage, correct?
Yeah.
And they
Garage.
it is actually produced in my home state. That is Ohio. And you've been working with this company, and they seem like super cool to work with.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that real quick.
Great group of people. So, long story short, I asked them. I was like, "Hey guys, what do you think about making a a computer in a, so they were giving away some like Garage Beer branded coolers. And I was like, what do you think about building a PC in one of those and then like giving it away and doing all this stuff? And they're like, yeah, let's do it.
And you had no idea. You're like, I'm just gonna throw this out here.
Yeah, he's like, here's a bunch of money. Let's do it. Let's build a PC and give it away. So that's happening.
So check out Devin Does Tech. You did some live streams already, working on it, and you're working on another video coming up.
Yeah. So okay. I mean, there'll be a full like long form video detailing the whole process and talking through it. But follow me on Instagram if you are interested in the giveaway, because that's where the giveaway is going to be. I'll obviously be posting about it on every other social, but the actual giveaway is going to be through Instagram.
So you're giving away the computer.
Yes, and it is
nice. Top
of the line gaming PC. It's got the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D. It's got an RX 9070 XT.
Wow. AMD build. Nice.
Yeah, full top of the line AMD build. 64 gigabytes of RAM. Jeez. 2 terabyte NVMe drive in it. 1,000-watt power supply. Like it is.
But the kicker is it's in a beer cooler.
It is built in a cooler.
That's awesome. That is awesome. But like I said, you guys check Devin out. His live streams are good. Obviously, I have to go back and actually catch up on them. But my name is Jason with Tuna Tech and obviously Tech Disruptors. If Devin comes, Devin can come back whenever. Darren, if he wants to come back next week, I'm good without it. It doesn't matter to me. But check us out every Sunday at 4 p.m. If we're usually canceled or something's going on, we'll post it out there. But check us out on wherever you get your most popular podcasts, and Spotify, YouTube Music, and so on and so forth. And we'll catch